welcome back to another multiplayer battle. I now have my drawing tools up and I'll be able to show you what's going on with a little bit more detail, hopefully. I might actually try a live battle cast. I mean, a lot of you have been wanting me to do that. Let me know if you want me to do that. That means I'll be doing live commentary while playing. I won't be able to zoom in as much, but I can talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it immediately. Tokshin and I are playing two, if you could look at it right now, two actual Empire factions over here. And I brought in, of course, a lot of great cannon. You know how I like to play. I brought in a Hammer of the Witches. My build will be linked down below, as per usual. I plan on doing a lot more multiplayer. I've missed way too much. I'm at like part 44 or whatever. I feel like I should be on like part 100. But if I could do a live battlecast, I mean, I'll definitely do it if a lot of you want to have me do that. But I mean, again, that all depends on feedback. And right now we're fighting a vampire count player over here. We're looking at two vampire count players. I mean, we've got good versus evil. Things are a little bit less gray in Warhammer Fantasy than in 40k, for the most part. Okay. And there's really not too much for me to go over quite yet. Right now we're playing defensively. They're actually the ones moving forward because for once we actually have cannon and they do not. We're looking over here at Chill Guys, which have a aura that can slow down nearby enemy units, and that's very effective. Very scary too, I might add. We've got Hex Rays too, and they are ethereal, which means they take less damage in melee combat. We're looking over here at what Tokshin has. He brought in a lot of Spearmen. We're looking at Free Company Militiamen, Knights of the Blazing Sun, which are very good to use against the vampire counts, and that's because they have a chance to commit to a flaming attack, which is very good. I have my Dimriff Knights over here, two of them hidden in the woods right now. That way they cannot be seen. And it looks like we have another cannon by Tokshin over here also shooting, but I'm still going after Graveguard. Graveguard are pretty potent, and they're upgraded too. Our enemies have brought a lot of flying units. Felbats, we're looking at Guys, we're looking at Terror Guys, which are very beefy, and even a Manfred on a Terror Geist or a dragon. Is it an undead dragon? I believe it is, right. It should be an undead dragon. Either way, very scary. We're looking at a Sunmaker beginning to shoot into their ranks right now. Killing zombies is not a big deal. They're only meant to bind up. But Graveguard being killed is a very big deal. Okay, we're looking at Felbats beginning to advance right now. Currently, Tokshin's moving back his Knights of the Blazing Sun. I suppose we could begin to draw things over here. But they're beginning to move forward. I'm definitely playing defensively. I've got my halberds in the middle to counter any type of large creatures or to potentially use armor piercing, which is what I have. And I'll be holding the Spearmen in place and fighting them. I'm currently trying to shoot a few of the Cryptors, trying to weaken them. I'm just trying to weaken their general tough units. That way, we're not as worried in the future. Over here, I've got Volkmar. I wanted to use my banishment on them over here because they're very effective, or that spell is very effective when fighting undead units that are ethereal. They take more magic damage, I believe. Actually, why not believe? Or why just believe when I could just look it up over here, right? There we go. Ethereal units, non-magical. Either way, magic would do a lot of damage because they're a smaller unit, and usually spells that are damage spells will do a lot more damage to a cav unit, like the Foot of Gork. Oh man, highly effective. Okay, they're beginning to move in right now. We'll go into slow motion for a brief moment. If you go look at what they have right now, they are highly weakened. I've killed some Spearmen. I've at least weakened them. I've got a banishment going on right in the middle. Again, a very effective spell. I love it. It does a lot of damage. Whenever you have Volkmar on his lovely War Altar of Sigmar, he's able to get one free banishment spell after a cooldown is done. I love it. Okay, here they come now. The foe attacks our ally over here. Tokshin's being attacked a little bit. They're trying to get his Sunmaker, but the Felbats are really being used a little bit too preemptively. We're looking at a fire spell now tearing right through the ranks, and it's actually perfectly placed. It's actually just going right through them right now. It's just lovely. A beautiful attack there. We're now looking at Cryptors beginning to attack, and it's really not a battle where I need to draw too much. I finally have my tools, but I don't need to use it too much. But right now, you can look at them begin to strike over here, and I have my defensive line right here. I feel like I'm in a football game now, American football. And we got Cryptors now clashing on my halberdiers. I'm bringing in my flagellants to help guard them, to help them hold, and I've got a Grand Shield of Faith helping me hold as well. We're looking at more and more of us beginning to pour in. We're looking at my cannon still being protected, but they did bring in zombies who are now trying to attack my cannon. I have more halberdiers from behind trying to hold that location. Here is my Bright Wizard, only 4 kills. I thought I would have gotten more. I'll probably get a few more while we're over here. That Graveguard group really got torn up. Okay, let's go back into it now. I'll definitely get a few cinematic shots. Over here, I've got my Dimriff Knights fighting. They're in a blob. I had to quickly make them charge. That way, I wouldn't be flanked. Otherwise, that would have been pretty poor for me. Back here, we're looking at Guys actually hitting the cannon of Tokshin. And here they are going after my cannon still. Here comes the War Altar of Sigmar, clashing and just bashing through right now. Charging right through. The Cryptors will eventually go down. They're not going to be able to hold up here. They have a little bit of help, but they will eventually go down. I did weaken them. We're looking at another fire spell right now. Not perfectly placed that time, but it is kind of going around. It might clip one of them, hopefully, but it really just kind of stays stationary rather than just going through. Let's go ahead and look at what Tokshin's having happen over here. He's bringing in Flagellants right now. They are very good at damage dealing. They have no armor, but they're really the only lower tier unit that the Empire can use to really crush through any enemy opposition, especially oh, hold on. Let's go look over here real quick. All right, a beautiful charge into the Hex Race. But anyway, they deal very high damage. So if you have them flank another unit, they're going to deal a lot of damage. They're not meant to be a frontline troop, as I might have used them in the past for. Okay, here's a Vampire Lord. One on a dragon. I thought it was Manfred, but we got a Vampire Lord. He's kind of stuck here. I'm trying to kill him. I'm trying to make sure that I hit him very hard, that we kill him early on. Over here, we've got Cryptors still fighting. They're beginning to fall apart, though. They couldn't keep up. My Great Swords have killed quite a few. They're doing a lot of damage. Flagellants are winning, and they're just doing just fine. I've got another fire spell over here, and let's just check that out in a cinematic view. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is beautiful. I love it. It's hitting a few of my own men, unfortunately. But hey, they're in the kitchen and they got burned. And unfortunately, it goes right through my own men. And now I have a banishment. But it didn't do enough damage to really make me worry too much, thankfully. I did use another Grand Prayer. We're looking at that Vampire Lord taking more damage. My Demigryph Knights are doing just fine. Let's go ahead and look at the overview of the fight real quick before we go crazy. The front line is still pretty crazy for Tokshin's side. It looks like it's a pretty straight line, just kind of right here. They haven't really tried to flank around as they probably should have with their Graveguard. They could have maintained a front line and flanked around with Graveguard, or they could have used Graveguard in the very beginning and flanked with Spearmen to go after the Knights of the Blazing Sun, because you want to get rid of that. We're looking... Oh, here's Manfred. Okay, they did have him... Oh, hold on. No damage? No, he should be charging in. He should be using spells the entire time and charging in. He's on a damn dragon. Alright, you want to utilize him. Blood Knights are back here fighting Knights of the Blazing Sun. They'll probably win, but we do have Halberds coming in. If they had more time to flank, they probably would have, but they will be flanking a few of the Blood Knights, which is very good. That's a anti-cav unit that can be utilized for that effect. We're looking at the Sunmaker, who's gotten quite a few kills, taking a lot of damage, but quite a few kills. Free Company Militiamen are getting a few kills too. We're looking at a Witch Hunter back here. One kill, but who knows, maybe it was a big kill. We're looking at a White King. Those are very tough to kill. It's on horseback, probably on a Barded Warhorse, which means that it'll have more armor. Hammer of the Witches now firing over here, 18 kills, trying to clash, or actually hit that Mortis engine. It's no Claw of Nagash, so it's actually doing pretty well. That will get rid of a Terror unit, which causes Terror, which can cause your men to flee for a short period of time. And it has a magical aura to heal its own units nearby, so I mean, that's just a very good thing to get rid of. We finally got rid of the dragon. Volkmar was like, yes, and took down that dragon. He did a very good job at that. Okay, we're looking at it right now. I'm beginning to move forward from over here on my side, beginning to help out Tokshin. I'm bringing in Halberds. I'm trying to use Volkmar again to clash right through them, and I'm very effective at doing that. I mean, it's such a mobile and beautiful station to fight with. I mean, look at how little damage I've taken. I'm doing okay. I'm clashing in. I'm keeping the damage to my own men to a minimum. We've taken out a majority of their flanking units. They were unable to do very much with that. We just had a better army composition overall. And really, I don't know what they could have done. I really don't know. We had the capability to stay together. I think they should have hit Tokshin together. That would have helped. Just because he had Spearmen and things like that, and that would have broken. But he did have Knights of the Blazing Sun. But they definitely didn't work together. They fought us one-on-one, coming over here and over here, where they should have just gone over here after Tokshin together. They could have flanked around like that and hit him even further. My Demigryph Knights were very effective at countering their own cav. Their cav could have worked together to do a lot more damage. I mean, we definitely had a pretty good advantage. I'm not really too sure. What would have gained them victory here. I think we had a pretty good army composition where we could dictate range, where we could just do a lot of damage. And I don't know if I fully agree with bringing in dragons. They're very powerful, and you've got to use them effectively when you can, but we have so much cannon. I now have a banishment going right through them again, and all that cannon is just going to target him. It's going to target him. Now, I will say that dragon was very powerful and very hard to deal with, and I believe Tokshin was beginning to lose a little bit on the front lines. I mean, they had a lot of Graveguard going after him. A lot of Graveguard, so now they're beginning to break through here, and they're beginning to clash over here. But I'm still finishing up my own enemy right here. That won't take too long. I got my Demigryph Knights now fighting. We're fighting the remainder of the Grave Guard, who are falling apart. We're looking at my Bright Wizard, who is in there. I mean, I got him to fight. I'm probably running low on magic at that current point, so I wanted to begin fighting as well. We're looking at Grave Guard beginning to move in. Halberds are still fighting and holding, and surprisingly, they have a lot left. Here's where Tokushin's having a much tougher time. Again, a lot of Grave Guard are very hard to beat for the Empire. They're very excellent infantry troops, and you can get a lot more of them. Here we go. Volkmar the Grim. Nearly 100 kills. A beautiful time. And I remember using my cannon to try to shoot him. He was beginning to lose his Arch-Lector, and I'm using cannon to try to hit Manfred just to keep him away. We really couldn't do too much. He was gaining a lot of health back quickly, too. I mean, if you look at that, he's gaining back so quickly. He's able to regenerate so quickly. But that gave me the opportunity to now move in, to actually attack him, to flank him, to hit him right now, to take out his entire army while he's chasing the Arch-Lector, hoping to get rid of Tokushin's army by causing them to flee. But it's a little bit too late for that to really work out in his favor. Volkmar still moving in, getting kills, charging from behind. We're doing a lot of damage. We're looking at a few Spearmen going after Free Company militiamen. Cannon are trying to shoot where they can. I'm still trying to make sure that I keep him away. I want that dragon far away, unable to support his army. That White King was very effective, very tough to take out. Still fighting the entire time. 184 kills on my Demigryph Knights. I mean, look at the amount of kills that we have here. They're over here, and that's all that they have. Pretty much a line of undead, but we're hitting them pretty hard now, and they're all about to fall apart. They have 101. The allies, Lord has fallen. They finally got the Arch-Lector. He fell in combat, and Manfred will be coming back. He's got cannon to face when he does come back. And over here, I remember having a little battle with the White King. I have Demigryph Knights going after it right now. 18 of them in that group. They're chasing him down. Again, White Kings are very powerful. They are very effective. When the game first came out, I don't think they were that great, but now they're definitely very durable. They have high armor. They're very strong. That might just be a normal mount. I don't think it's barded. Yeah. He would have had more armor, I believe. There's Volkmar, 123 kills. I'm moving Volkmar into the group that way. He's not being charged at by that White King. Another banishment hitting my own men. But I'm just trying to freak them all out. I'm trying to break them here. They're beginning to crumble. They're falling apart. Even Manfred is beginning to fall apart here. They're losing so badly right now that they can't stay. I mean, look at all the cannon that we have here, just beginning to fire at him. We crush every unit. They all fall apart. Manfred's the only one. He's beginning to fall apart. He's like, oh, I lost the will to unlive, and he fell. And I love watching it. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. What a beautiful sight. Okay, let's end that replay right now. I lost 457. Tokushin definitely took the brunt of Dragon. Dragon hit him hard. That was a lot of Grave Guard. That's just really hard to deal with. And he had a lot of hard-hitting units, a lot of White Kings, but not enough utility to win the day. The other player brought in a lot of expensive regiments of renown. Didn't get very far. I don't even know what he was going for as far as the build goes. I don't understand this here. He brought in way too many skeleton warriors. I wouldn't have upgraded anything. He may have. I don't know. These two were upgraded. He brought in... It was just really a very scatterbrained army, whereas Dragon had more of a set purpose to win in melee, and he largely did. But his ally, not so much. Brought in too few things. I don't even know like what he spent all of his money on. Maybe regiments of renown, but Dragon brought in a lot more. If you look at my army, my greatsword's got a lot of kills, my halberds a lot of kills, everything that I have, just a lot of kills. We got a lot of kills for that fight. Tokushin didn't get as many kills. He was taking the brunt of a much harder foe. His Sunmaker did get a lot of kills. Even the Tattersouls, 215, that's actually really good, probably fighting zombies and lower tier troops. The Flagellants did well. As I told you, they're pretty good at that. And surprisingly, Spearmen got a lot of kills too. And his lords, oh man, they got beat up on. Florence, and he did his part, you know. He got a few kills here and there, but it just was not enough to win the fight. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you did enjoy that battle. Again, give me feedback if you would like for me to do live battle casting 1v1, I don't know, 2v2 or even 3v3 with other people that I might not know. I'm trying to find other people who might want to do multiplayer with me and Tokushin. That way we can have bigger battles too. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as always, until then.